Is the sheep preaching hate when it says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate, he was teaching common sense. You know, somebody's knocking you over the head, stop him. Do whatever you have to do to stop him. You know, the ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
So is there anything that you would say when it comes to other cultures, right, and their level of dating? Like, how do you believe that they actually court each other or date each other? Is there a series of processes, right? Or are they kind of like how is it kind of, because like in American culture, it's kind of like shotgun. It's like, okay, yeah, we together now, like type shit.
Yeah.
First day, first met, whatever. Okay, yeah, boom. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in other cultures, are they a little bit more like decisive about certain things?
I'd like to say yes. Just from having different friends from different cultures, I think they kind of weed out, and from a woman's perspective, they weed out these men. They take their time to kind of figure out, is he going to be someone, for one, that I can take home?
Okay.
So, off the rip, if you some are as extreme as if you have tattoos. If you have anything like physically about you that's displeasing, it's already enough.
Right.
So although I may very much, like how you look, it's not something that my father would accept. I do believe that they take their time, because a lot of the women in overseas are still at home.
Okay.
So with their parents. So it's not a lot of like late nights, early morning type of.
So the women
thing.
Are staying home.
Yeah.
With their families.
Yeah.
And is that until like they get married?
Right. Until they're married.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friends is Palestinian. And her sisters. I mean, she at the moment they are here in America, but her sister is maybe, I think she's 35, and she still does live at home because she's not married.
Okay, 35.
Yes.
Does she have a career?
She does.
Okay.
She's a pharmacist.
And she's in pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
It's a pretty decent career.
Oh, yeah.
And at 35, she could literally easily go and get her own place.
Absolutely.
Have her own space and things like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? As a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wouldn't be far-fetched for her to be able to sustain her own living.
Oh, no.
She chooses to be at home to respect her family.
Of course. Because to them, there's nothing else to do. Of course, you have the option. Like her sister, which is my best friend, she does have her own apartment, which is in Beaumont, but that's only because she is also a pharmacist and her job is in Beaumont.
And you said this is who?
My best friend.
Okay, cool. And she has her own place in Beaumont.
Yeah.
And what culture does she come from?
She is Palestinian.
And she's Palestinian.
Yeah, but her older sister lives at home because her job is local. Well, I'm not even going to say that. It's just culturally. Their brothers who are not married still live at home.
Okay, right. It's just the one who decided, you know what?
Yeah.
I want my own space.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is because she had an opportunity in Beaumont, and that was the first.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the first option for her.
Okay.
So she went along with it.
So they didn't just kick them all out at 18.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So the culture in the U.S. once you 18, you got the hell out of my house.
Oh yeah.
I think that's been the worst disease of a mindset, right? That's some stinking thinking. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because you are sending them. First of all, let's analyze this. Let's break this down right to a decibel. You are sending them to a public food system that is teaching them how to do mathematics, reading, whatever, algebra, algebra, shit that they may not even use on a day-to-day basis besides reading and writing, right? They're learning all these different things, like how to do mathematics using letters and things like that. But they're not learning basic skills of how to survive in the world, credit, understanding how to balance a checkbook, understanding the difference between trust and estate, things like that. But your mindset is, as a parent, as somebody who loves them, is once they turn 18 and they become an adult, get the hell out of my house. Like, how do you truly love them? And you're going to send them out there to fend for themselves, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't even understand because you don't have time to teach them. You're too busy chasing your career. Right. So, I mean, I think that we should really adapt a different mindset so we can be able to set them up for better success for their own personal lives. Like, you know, this is not, and I know you might be tired, but either way, find you a nice family to join, or find you another woman you can have join your family to help take off the load, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But don't send your children out to a world that does not care if they understand credit or how to properly utilize business credit or how to build a company and earn income. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? So you should give them time to build and develop themselves as an adult. Yeah. You know what I mean? First, before you send them out to do adulting by themselves, right? Or teach them as they're young. Yeah. And get them set up and have them established so they can be successful adults. Right. So I just wanted to say that for a minute. You know what I mean? I think that not too many people say it enough. You know what I mean? Like to restructure your mind to help your children be more successful. And this is all part of relationships here in the U.S. Yeah. The culture is totally different once you go across the pond. You have whole families and uncles and aunts and shit like that live in the same hut. Not even the same house, the same hut, a small space. Very happy though. Yeah. But they're very satisfied and happy with it, right? And their main goal is to get their daughters married and their sons strong enough to support their own families. Right. So huge differences.
Yeah, and like I was saying, these women, they take their time, and if they don't take their time, there's no such thing as a talking phase or a boyfriend phase. It's straight marriage. That's the end goal for these women. There's no, I just want to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend for, a year and see how it goes. No, ma'am. Right. Marriage is the goal.
Marriage is it. Don't even try to play around. Yeah. Don't even bring him around unless he...
Exactly that.
Right.
Don't bring him around unless he's ready to ask for your hand in marriage. And most of these girls, I know I have a lot of African girlfriends too. You won't even know they're dating.
Okay. All right now.
Until her and that man have discussed, I'm going to probably propose to you around this point in time.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when you might see him pop out. And you're like, oh, you had a boyfriend? Yeah, we've been dating for...
They made low key.
Yeah. But you would never know because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it if it isn't your husband. Right. And that's a fact. I feel that 100%. And I wish that I was raised that way. Because I probably would have alleviated a lot of things that I've been through in life.
Right. I agree with that. Alleviated. Yeah. Same thing on a man's from a man's perspective. Understanding how to properly choose a woman is like gold to a young man. Yeah. Going and pursuing his own family, right? And also developing, because me growing up, seeing examples from the guys who are around me, they all they want to do is, go to Pound Town. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're going to Pound Town all day. You know what I mean? Okay, this is about you need to deal with a woman and go to Pound Town, right? That's the ultimate goal. When, for me, it was like I didn't really have a heart for that type of culture. But my thing is that having that example, it's never taught, hey, you need to find you a woman who's a solid woman who's going to be a great wife to you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No one's ever really made mention of that. Yeah. Like, hey, find you somebody with these type of qualities, right? I know, my mother may have mentioned certain things here and there, but it wasn't in the sense of teaching because she was too busy being super mom.
Right.
You can't think about certain things and let me make sure of this 1st, especially if it hasn't been instilled in you.
Right.
Right. True. So it's like we have a generation after generation of choosing not to teach each other how to choose proper people to deal with. People who stands with morals and values, who has a higher power, who they fear, know that they can't do wrong by other people, or wrong will come back to them. Understanding the laws of what the Most High has set for this world and universe, right? And that if you do wrong will come back.
Right.
And that choosing the right person, like it says in scripture, like it's when you find a wife, you find a good thing.
Right.
And Proverbs 31 teaches you a criteria of what you should look for. Didn't spend a whole lot of time learning that, especially when you're growing up in church, right? When you're growing up in church, whether it be a Christian church or whatever, they don't teach you anything like that. They teach you how to submit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, or how to sin and come as you are and stay as you are.
Yeah.
No, it ain't even repentance. It's come as you are, stay as you are, because we're going to accept you regardless, right? But but we're not speaking on conviction,
right?
Making you convicted, but also teaching you, hey, this is what a woman should be. And then also the scriptures, because the scriptures are going to tell a woman to submit every time. Right. But if they're trying to teach the woman to be the authority so they can drag the man in the church to tithe, then how are they going to be able to preach a sermon on submission?
Yeah.
Because they're going to lose half or majority of their audience. Within the women are going to walk the hell out. They're like, man, submit. What? You know what I'm saying? With these, submit. They're gonna manifest right there and walk the hell out. You're gonna lose half your congregation preaching about submission for women. So, but whatever the Most High ordains is gonna be blessed, and you should always just preach the truth of what the message is. But my thing is that when we have a culture that has not instilled that or brought that to the forefront for every child and every man to consider, it's like you just running wild. It's when you have it to where they're just out here just dealing with women, breaking their hearts, right, running through them, and those women deciding, you know what, I'm gonna play a little bit too, because I keep getting played. You know what I'm saying? The guy won't commit. You know what I mean? That's why I tell you to ask about the shirt. You know what I mean? What's going on? Is he having trouble with committing to things? Whatever it may be, find something that he's had for a very long time and see how long he's had it. If it's wear and tear on it. And why he's keeping it around, So...
You know what's funny about that? I think me and you first reconnected, you asked me if I can bake.
Right. Yeah.
From vice versa. But
okay, yeah.
I remember that.
And so the answer was what? Do you remember what that?
I'm not a great baker. No, I'm not. But he asked me that to see if I can follow instructions. Because baking, you have to follow a recipe, by the recipe, or else it can turn out bad, or it just won't turn out
too dense or too. When you're a baker, you have to follow the instructions. When you're a cook, you can cook from the heart, from the soul. You can wing it. You dash the salt here. You can salt bay that joint. And it'll turn out as a beautiful dish that tastes great. But when you're a baker, you put too much baking soda in there, it's too dense. You put too much sugar in there, it's too sweet. You know what I mean? So you have to follow precise instructions in order to do it. So if a woman can bake, she can follow a man. Because she can follow instructions.
There you have it.
So, now that applies to a lot of women, but it don't apply to them all because some of them still trash. But 9 times out of 10, you can discover a woman who can follow a good recipe is a woman who can follow a good man. So I think that's another reason why Kevin Samuels would ask a woman, how many recipe books do you have in your house? You know what I mean? And where did they come from? Were they passed down from grandma? What's going on? Where's the recipe books at? Because he wanted to determine whether or not she enjoys to follow recipes. What's going on with it? You know what I mean? So, it's the same thing, same concept, so yeah, Yeah, that's a good point. And you know, if you're not a baker, start. It's not even that hard. Right? Start baking so that way you get that question again. Or somebody asks you that question, you like, yeah, hell yeah, I know how to bake. What you want me to bake you? Me personally, my thing is cheesecake.
Okay.
So, you know, that's not an easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get that right.
You gotta get it right. You gotta get it on point. So yeah, so
I don't feel like enough men are sharp enough to even ask those type of questions these days.
man, you know, I don't know, you know, like what are we asking about? Like what do men ask you? You know, what questions do you get like in the dating world? Like to where they're just like are they trying to get to know you at all or like
yeah, for the most part, but things that really isn't their business. Like you know, about my career.
okay.
You know, why did it work with the last man?
Oh, that's a terrible question.
Yeah, just
horrible question.
The worst of them all is, what do you look for in a man? I never reveal this. I never reveal this because I've seen that men kind of use that tactic to pretend to be exactly what you described until they win you over and know they got you in a place where.
So they like mold themselves, they're a chameleon, kind of mold themselves into what you say.
And I'm not going to say men, but I've witnessed
based on who
I've dealt with. Yeah, that has happened, and those are the three most popular questions. Are you and your ex still together? Do y'all still mess around?
No, y'all not asking women that off that. Oh, come on, man. Get a couple days in. At least 2 days.
What's going on between you and your baby daddy? Or, wild child, break up.
Right.
Are you really single? And, it just shows me the women that they're coming into contact with. And I'm like, damn, we out here doing it like that.
Right.
We out here doing it like that, ladies.
Trying to be safe for real. Man, listen, y'all need to stop asking questions like that. You ask some more lighthearted questions, fellas. Like, engage with what was triggering. Right, with who she is. What would actually make her respond to you? Like, one of my favorite questions. Well, first of all, a bit of hello, how are you type of situation. Just formal introduction and then going into a, hey, I'm about to start this, I'm about to start asking you a flurry of questions. Are you ready? That excites. That's exciting. Yeah. Listen. It's always exciting. Are you ready? You wait for one to respond. Are you ready? Flurry of questions. Are you ready? First of all, you defuse the whole situation of her feeling like she's on a job interview because this is a game now. We're having fun. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? You defuse the whole job interview thing. You're able to get some questions out that's not going to be penetrating, but that's going to be lighthearted, getting to know her. But these questions are going to actually determine whether who she is as a person or not.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be able to really gauge things based on what you ask. My first question off bat is always, what's your top 3 favorite songs?
Yeah.
What's your top 3 favorite songs? I love asking that question. Here's the reason why I love asking this question. Okay? It's because, do she know herself? Has she spent time with herself? Does she understand what type of things that she likes and dislikes? Can she be precise about it? She has to be precise. Why? Because she only has 3 options. You don't have, no. And even if you try to give me 2, I'm not going to accept 2. I want 3.
Okay.
And that's my foot down. You can't give me 2. I need 1 more.
Yeah.
So you have to choose 3. But then you choose her song selection.
Right.
To tell you everything.
Yeah.
If she chooses a couple R&B joints, old school joints that's like, hidden, let's say it's like, Love, from, what's the guy's name? Let's say Music Soul Child. Let's say it's Luther Vandross. And then let's say she says, Big Lotto. Oh, okay. Yep. Then, and let's say she says Big Lotto, then you would make a decision that, you know what, she loves these things, but she has a song that comes from Big Lotto and it talks about certain things that I don't agree with, right? Or something like that. But it determines who she is. I mean, it's okay to have one ratchet song that I feel. If she has gospel songs, then I'm like, okay, she's really connected with Yah. She's really connected with the Father. If she has a bunch of R&B songs, I'm like, okay, she's really connected with love and wanting to be loved. If she has a bunch of ratchet songs, Sexy Red, Big Lotto, Megan Thee Stallion, it's time to run. You understand what I'm saying? It's time to go ahead and cut this off because now I need to determine what type of direction she wants to go in, right? What she listening to, or what she's listening to, is what perception she has on reality, is what she's hearing in her ear gates. So I'm determining all these things based on one question that defuses, but also is a fun, lighthearted question that's not penetrating, right? That's not, well, what happened to your last ex? Which I don't care to know. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to be judged, neither does she. So she don't want you to know all that right away. But you know, these things you can really make a great determination on who a woman is just based on songs and shit she's listening to. Another question that I really enjoy to ask, right, is what is her top 3 favorite movies? Top 3 favorite movies. I gotta know what you like to watch. You know what I'm saying? So your ear gates and your eye gates are the 2 things that can influence you. Those are the major influencers, is the ear gates and the eye gates. What are you watching and what are you listening to? You know, so, and the moment I understand that, boom, she tells me what movies she likes, and I can be able to determine what those movies are and say, okay, well, she likes romantic movies, or she likes, comedy, or she likes horror. That's going to tell me what type of genre whatever genre she's in, that's going to tell me more about her personality. If she likes horror films, then she's more into the gory things like that, whatever. There's certain people who are into that type of stuff, but it's more opportunities for spirits to influence her to do certain things, because that's how I feel about horror. You know, it just opens up the spiritual gate for more spirits to, deal with you on certain levels. If that's just me personally, that's how I view it. But she likes it, then it could be nothing wrong there, or she could be a psycho. You got to make a decision as to which one it is. So also, she likes comedy. She loves to laugh. I love people who love to laugh. I like to laugh. You know what I'm saying? I like the joke. Another thing is, of course, she likes action. You know what I mean? She likes to be excited. She might have her attention span may not be all the way there, so she might get bored with you if she likes action. So you might want to consider that. If she likes romance, right, then she likes to be romantic. She likes to be loved on, and she likes to love on others, right? So you can make a real decision based on those things. These are just fun, lighthearted questions that will determine personalities without her even knowing that you're determining what type of personality she is. It's like she don't even know. Like, she has no idea that you're determining her personality based on her selection. And like I said, it's all about the ear gates and the eye gates. What are you consuming that makes those determinations? And and then you just kind of take it from there based on the flow of conversation. She chooses based on her song. She chooses goddamn some crazy song. Let's say she chooses Nelly, All in My Head. Man, listen. We gonna make a play off of that. Now we talking shit about Nelly. Like, Nelly, yeah. Nelly is not no real country singer. They keep telling me, you know what I mean? Like, why'd you choose that? Like, don't agree with every selection. You agree with a woman on every selection she made, you're just a yes man. Yeah, you're not somebody to be respected. Yeah. It is boring. There's no banter back and forth. Mm-hmm. But if you see something, you're like, okay, well, you start poking fun at that one thing, then it shows that you do have. You're decisive. You're able to know what you like and dislike, right? And you're not gonna agree with every word that comes out. So, just a tidbit for my fellas out there: don't ask questions like that. Like, don't ask these penetrating questions. Give it like 2 or 3 days before you start digging into history, body count, all that shit. Just leave it alone for 2-3 days until you feel like you really want to take her serious, and then start asking questions like that so you can make
when it matters to you.
Right.
It doesn't matter to you straight off the bat.
When it matters. When it matters. Not because you going out with her and somebody see you out. And you want to make a decision now. No. Just get to know her as a person. And then go from there. You know, lighthearted, fun questions. Yo,
Yeah. I feel a lot of it too is just game.
game.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
game to kind of see, like,
Yeah.
to make you think, like, oh, yeah, see, I really care about this,
Mhm.
that, and the third. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people that ask questions just to be nosy, just to, they're not truly concerned. So,
Yeah, that's facts.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so slow down, fellas. Slow down. Man, don't be rushing to what's that song called, man? From Snoop Dogg, Sexual Seduction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't be sexually seductive, but just take the meat, spit out the bones, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to get hers before you get for I get mine. You understand what I'm saying? You need to take it slow. You not finna rush the stroke, fellas. You feel me? Don't rush it. Get to know her. Ask fun, lighthearted questions first. Then, you get serious. Man, start dropping the bombs, seeing what's happening. You feel me? But yeah. Move about it like that. So what we need to do now is we're gonna take a quick break real quick. And we want to come back, man. If y'all got any questions out there, if y'all got any comments, we're going to hit this comment section hard, man. So drop them in the comment section, and we're going to read them off, and we're going to go ahead and address the comments. You know what I mean? Because I know we probably got at least another 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so, we can be able to do a little bit of comment section joints. This is like my favorite point because, man, the chat be going off, right? The chat be going off in the comments. So yeah, y'all go ahead and drop them if you got anything. Drop it in the comments, and we're gonna go ahead and address it right when we come back. All right.